Hey everybody, I'm Bill, the Hill Country Prepper, and I want you to be informed so that you can be prepared. Now on my channel, I talk about current events and things that are going on in the world because I want you to be informed so that you can be prepared for the things that might be coming and be ready for yourself and your family. Now if that's important to you, keep watching. A lot of things going on in the world right now, and in particular, I'm talking about the Russia-Ukraine crisis. We'll call it a war, just for simplicity. It is a war, it's an invasion. Russia has invaded Ukraine. I think we're in day 9 right now. Everybody's focused in, everybody's zoomed in with a laser focus on this crisis. But what I think we should do is step back and look at the bigger picture. Ask yourself, who has the most to gain from this? Now keep this in mind. We're just coming off over 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic. Seems like the next day we go right into a global war conflict in Europe. It's led to rising fuel prices. I know gasoline prices here in my area have gone up about 60 cents in the past week. We're seeing a spike in food prices, and that's because the price of wheat is skyrocketing as a result of this conflict. And also wheat is rising because of the fuels getting more expensive. There's a fertilizer shortage, there's a labor shortage, there's a supply chain shortage. So all this is just kind of adding up, and now we're on the verge of possibly a global nuclear threat coming out of Russia. We're possibly facing World War III. Everybody's kind of keeping their peripheral vision on what China might be doing with Taiwan. And I'll add this for you too. Keep your eye on Iran and Israel. They've kind of been quiet here lately, but that could change at any day. Now if you guys find this information helpful, why don't you press down on that thumbs up and give me a like. And if you're not a subscriber yet, why not? Go ahead and subscribe right now. Hit that notification bell and you'll get notified each and every time I upload some new content. So be sure and do that. And leave me a comment too about what you think when you back up and look at the bigger picture of everything. One last thing I want to mention to you. This is a known fact. When we talk about this war with Russia and Ukraine, or any war for that matter, the first casualty of every war is always the truth. So don't get caught up in the fog of war, and that's what we're seeing a lot here lately, the propaganda. A couple of examples. The ghost of Kyiv. You remember him? He was supposedly a fighter pilot who had shot down 5 Russian MiGs in the first or second day of the conflict. Now they even had video for it. Come to find out, that video was from a video game. This was all fake news. Also the 13 sailors from Snake Island over there who supposedly had told the Russian warship to go F themselves. And then they were utterly destroyed by the Russian bombardment of the island. That wasn't true either. That was fake news as well. So don't get caught up in this. If you've got another instance of the fake news coming out of this crisis or anything else that's going on in the world, after you zoom out and look at the bigger picture and see who has to gain, leave me a comment down below. I'd like to know what it is. Again, first we had the pandemic. Who had the most to gain from that? And now we're looking at this war with Ukraine right on its heels. And I'll tell you who has the most to gain on the surface right now. It's the arms manufacturers. People like Lockheed Martin and Raytheon, their stocks are up in the past week. Oil stocks are also up. If you look at the producers like Transocean and Valaris, these are the people that punch the holes in the ground. Their stock is up as well in the past week because of this, and that's because of the fear. That's the fear that this potential, well, not potential, that this crisis is causing, but the potential of a disruption into the oil supply. So their stock is up. Rig count is up in North America, February over January, by about 65 rigs. I think 30 in Canada and 35 in North America, if I've got those figures right. But the rig count is up, and that's because they're drilling, because there's a threat to the international supply of the oil coming out of Russia. It's a bona fide threat. Guys, I hope you found this information helpful. If you did, again, please press down on that thumbs up and give it a like. You guys have a blessed day. Hill Country Prepper.